So I know this isn't necessarily like a Halloween video, even though it's recorded the day before Halloween and it will be put out on Halloween. But I didn't really plan to make a Halloween video, so I'm just gonna make one about one of the scariest things in my life right now, and that is school. I'm gonna talk about how school is in 2020 so far for me as an online student, and that's all it's gonna be. I'm gonna talk right now. This won't be too long of a video. It won't be as long as the last one because I'm not put on time restrictions by a teacher for a grade. The only reason why I'm saying this part is to make the video somewhat longer. Alright, picture this. You're walking around the halls of high school, and yes, I know, it's hard for me to imagine too, because I'm a harebrain. But, then you turn around and you hear someone say, "Oi! Oi, cunt! Virus go beep-bop, boop-bop, boop-bop, bop-bop, bow." So you start freaking out, and before you know it, you wake up, you're out of your coma, and you're in your bed doing school. Here, that was just how I remember it. I like to call it the beginning trials. So, here's how that went. It all started with one Zoom call from my art teacher at the time. We'll call her Genghis Khan, for now. So this teacher was already a bad teacher, like, you know, the bad type, like, gives you a project due the day after it's given type of bad. And so I already knew this wasn't going to be any easier than it was before online school or the virus or any of that. And she started by giving us a link to 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 a couple of famous art photos. I'm not over-exaggerating that at all. That's actually what happened. And so we had to recreate some of the art photos. And so I go to click on the link, the, like, real link, not the link to the link to the link. And it ends up corrupting some of the data on my computer after trying to download or upload photos from my phone to the computer. And so I email her and I go, "Hey, my computer's not working because your link that you provided is breaking it." And she said, "No." And I was like, "Why would you say that? That's not very cool." So I typed her an email, almost as angry as a My Hero Academia fan after watching a video criticizing it for anything at all. And so whenever I showed her the actual proof, she went, "Oh, okay. Who cares? I don't care. I couldn't care less. I could not care less." And so it took a long time until the year ended, or at least that's what it felt like. It was actually like 2 months, but it felt like hell because of this teacher. And I guess other than that one class and maybe my math class a couple of times, because my math teacher did the same thing like twice, it was pretty okay for online school. I mean, to be fair, they are still learning the ins and outs of how to turn on a computer, but is it really that hard to, like, look at proof and say, "Oh, okay, that's my fault. My bad. Sorry. This is my mic today. I'm not using the Wiimote because it's not Halloween." So yeah, that sucked. Next up is Chapter 2. Go! At this point in the year, the teachers kind of have a grip over what they're doing. For example, my mom learned how to highlight text in Google Docs. Good job, Mom. I'm proud of you. Anyway, at the beginning of the year, and by the year I mean this year, my French teacher decided, "Hey, why don't I just get the whole entire gang together?" And by the gang, I mean class, and not like an actual gang. I promise I do not partake in any of that stuff. And she tells us, "Hey, things are going to be a lot different, and you're going to be held accountable for your mistakes." And by held accountable, she means, did you, are you sure you didn't use Google Translate on this French test? And then you say yes, and get off scot-free. Because they don't have enough time to actually go through your computer and come over to your house, because that's against social distancing rules, dude. Stop. Get away from me. Get away from me. But actually, it was more like the students held the teachers accountable for their mistakes. The amount of times I've had to tell a teacher to, like, actually enter a grade into the grade book for me is ungodly. Whether it's, like, a daily grade that's worth only, 30% of your actual grade, or 2 whole entire fucking test grades from my health teacher. I've dealt with it. Okay? I'll tell you that much. Anyway, I think I'm more worried about having enough room in my brain to fill out taxes and file them than I am worried about, say, using PEMDAS or the segment addition postulate so that I can buy some Fruit Loops. Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. Let's just get on to the third and final part. It's time for Chapter 3, everyone. It's time for Chapter 3. Yeah! I guess the moral of the story is that school sucks and it always will. Take it from me, the kid who has a harebrain and whose favorite hobby is dice roll walks. You know, I also like banging my head on the concrete and jumping around. But what you should actually take away from school is not all the bad shit, but the friendships that you make along the way. Okay, bye. Have fun being alive and all that shit. I'm gonna go jump out my window real quick. Bye. Love you.